With an estimated 12.5 to 17 million units sold from 1982 to 94, the Commodore 64 was one of the most famous home computers in the 80s and early 90s. With only $595 purchase price and the ability to connect it to your normal home TV, the machine was way easier to afford than the IBM PC, which captured the business market at the same time. The C64 gave you the ability to use programs, play games, or start programming right in your living room. Many people used it for gaming, similar to a gaming console. In this video, we will get my Commodore 64 up and running. This is my C64 setup. It consists of the Commodore computer itself, a power adapter, the manual, and some additional hardware. The floppy disk drive with cables, some floppy disks, and a joystick. Today we will get all the stuff connected. Luckily, we have the manual. It explains us how all the cables get connected, and it also comes with a big software package. Well, software doesn't always come as a disk though. The C64 manual contained many written lines of code to give you some programs on hand and also help you to learn BASIC. We can now see the right side of the C64. The connector on the right in the picture is for the power adapter. The power supply itself provides both 9 volts AC with 18 VA and also 5 volts DC with 1.7 amps to the C64. The latter might sound kind of familiar to you if you often work with modern USB devices. The power supply was made in China and seems to be pretty big and heavy compared to nowadays supplies. Let's connect it to the machine. Even though there was a Commodore monitor available, it was also possible to connect the C64 to any television with a coaxial antenna cable or a video cable like this one. Therefore, neither me nor my friends used to have a Commodore monitor. So I'm using this brand new cable to get the C64 connected to my TV, which is a modern flat screen TV. Sorry folks, stingy guys don't always pay the money for retro hardware. The other side of the cable is plugged into the backside video connector of the C64. Now let's take a look at the joystick, which is also not an original device from Commodore. The Commodore was compatible with a bunch of stuff from other manufacturers. It is plugged into the right side of the C64, the side where we just connected the power supply. This is the floppy drive. It didn't come together with the C64 and had to be purchased separately. Some people use the dataset, the cassette drive for data from Commodore, but the manual claims that you can load software in seconds from the floppy drive compared to minutes from the dataset. So I bought a floppy drive. On the back side we can see that it was made in West Germany. Yes, the Berlin Wall still stood when this device was produced. Commodore manufactured their hardware in their own facilities, which were distributed all over the world. We connect the serial cable and the power cable. Yes, the floppy drive needed an extra power cable. The serial cable is plugged into the backside of the C64 right next to the AV cable for our television. So that's it. The C64 with all cables is connected. This is the full setup with computer, floppy drive, joystick and ATV. Ready to start. Let's take a look at the keyboard quickly before we turn this beast on. The C64 had a lot of funny symbols alongside the regular chair set. Also, the keyboard is a little different from the IBM keyboards we use nowadays. Time to start. Since this 40-year-old computer hasn't been turned on for quite a while, this is an exciting moment. If you started with computers less than 20 years ago, you are probably expecting this machine to download and install updates for the next 3 days or so. But let's see. That's it. After flipping the switch, this loyal machine almost instantly says ready. Here's the magic moment recorded with a video grabber. Let's type in some basic and see if it works. So for now, I'm gonna have some fun with my old computer. Stay tuned for more. God bless you and goodbye.